Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to F1 Manager 23, episode 86. We're at the turn of the month into August. It's the summer break. Driver development update begins with Florsch picking up points that are purely pace related, cornering and braking, hitting that three-quarter mark at 75 apiece. It's only 2 points, but that's a good 2 points that she 100% needed. Of course, the reactions are still lagging behind, and she's not very good at overtaking, and that combination is challenging. Long since been challenging for us, but pace is the raw thing that she needs. Right, we can use ways to overcome the overtaking reactions. When we're starting to find that DRS zones are not her happy place. We could find overtakes elsewhere because she has a quick car, and between the cornering and braking, we can just about make overtakes into and coming through corners. Something we're starting to use a bit more, and especially when we turn up other factors, she's able to push a lot more to make that happen. As for Tanaka, +1 to control, +1 to reactions, and +2 to accuracy is not ideal across the board. I mean, we want cornering to come up for her. We desperately want cornering to come up. We need her smoothness to come up. However, these are some really important points. Reactions, of course, are fantastic for her pace, and it sets her up to be somebody who can overtake on a straight. Different tactic, different driver, but that really helps us out. However, 3 points into the area of not making mistakes is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Yes, we need her cornering and smoothness like more than anything else right now, but I'll take those points. It's a good distribution of points, and it is 4 points, which is twice what we got from Florsch. She's very much making up ground, and Florsch is very much approaching her limit, it would seem. But at least she's getting a couple points and getting them in the right kind of places. As for Brunn, 2 for cornering obviously is good. 1 for smoothness is big, as she needs that one. 1 for reactions is very good. So that's 3 points in pace, and 2 in very important related, like nothing adaptability. This is a good distribution, even though she's only a 61 overall. If we could get that control and accuracy and smoothness up, she's pretty dang good. She now has cornering matching. She's caught up to Florsch's cornering capabilities.
Hello, and a very warm welcome as we prepare for the Dutch Grand Prix. We're back from the summer break with topped up tans. Vacation, though, is now over, and it's time to get serious on the track for the second half of the F1 season. Here we go. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
I was pretty optimistic heading into this race weekend, seeing that I have had some success here in the past. I was also optimistic after FP1, finding that I had, or FP3, that is, finding that we were 13th quickest. And then qualifying came, and we were half second off the pace of those in the points. Competitive with those at the back, sure, but half second off the pace, and the back row. So, unfortunate for that. Let's hope it was a fluke. I'm going to try to be a little more aggressive with, 2 things. 1, I have underfueled more than the normal to give us a little more pace, to give us a couple tenths a lap for the next quite a while. 3 laps of underfuel is a lot. We're already 4.5 kilograms, and we're still on lap number 1. It's going to get a little bit worse as we push through the first 2 laps. Tanaka, a whole lap, I thought she was about to turn in and take the spot there against the Haas, and instead, side by side for a full lap, still battling it out. Florsch on the mediums, going medium, soft, not too many running that, especially at the back, so for her, we're hoping we can just keep up. But Tanaka eventually has finally lost out well into this thing, and she's so bad on tires. We need to back off, and back off now. Push back off on the fuel, but I wanted to push a little bit longer to keep up. Make sure we get that DRS at least on our teammate. Tanaka might be used to sacrifice herself for the sake of Force today. Keep it up just fine for now. Let's go back off. So medium soft for Flourish. Tanaka is going to go soft, medium soft. I've also got her pitting a couple laps earlier than she's supposed to on the first stint because I just know that she's not going to have the pace in those final laps. So really trying to even out that wear just a bit. 0.7 down for Tanaka will be a big key to our race. Is keeping up here early on. She was there at the DRS time, and her flap did not open. She was there when you went through the detection zone. And of course, without the spare fuel, without the extra tires, we really don't have anything to rely on, and this means we could be in for a very quick day today. Flourish has used DRS to go around. Slingshotting with each other a lot. Could lead to some issues later on, but let's see. Tanaka's behind for now. Let's go ahead and conserve some fuel. They are already 7 seconds down here on lap 17. Tanaka just fell out of DRS range, so much for that idea. We got a little bit of fuel saving in. Require a lift and coast. We're not keeping up with the back of the field, even though we made an extra push to try to do so. So this is very bad sign, and this is going to be a very quick first of 4 stops for the day, or at least 4 scheduled stops. Tanaka, oh, it's a great stop, a 2.289. That is the best stop of the season. We have made some progress training. A 2.4 flat is now the expected. 2.40 is the average pit stop time. So that was very much better than average, and certainly the best we have seen in quite some time. We're only going to push for a little bit here, especially off the pace. We want to let those mediums last. She loses way more time when she gets down into that low range than she's going to lose slowly getting up to temperature here. She's already 14.5 seconds off of anybody else. Flourish is currently P14, but she's got to stop. She'll be faster on the softs, though. We'll hope that that's going to be enough to get back and be competitive and not just 19th, but it's not looking good for our day. Tanaka already closing in on a lap down, but I'm guessing Verstappen hasn't stopped. No. None of the top 7 have stopped. Flourish is the only other one outside of the top 7 that has yet to stop. Back with Flourish. Flourish a little bit worse off on fuel. A lot more work to do. Half a minute down on the leaders in 26 laps. So she's lost virtually a second a lap. However, she was... Oh, it's a red flag. Well, that's going to bring the field back together.
Now there's the car of Piastri.
Piastri. Where's the red flag here?
Costly crash as the car makes contact with the wall.
PSC is the worst case scenario with this one.
When they woke up this morning.
0 reason for a red flag. 0. Less than 0. It's a negative number. Well, Flourish is going to keep that P14 and get that free pit stop. So actually, it has worked out pretty dang well for her. Are we able to make 2 sets of softs work from here? Maybe. Maybe. I think we'll have to go to the softs, see how it fares. There's no way we're going to go back out there on the mediums we're on. But if we can get to about 49 or 50, I could definitely see us making it. We're going to have to be careful. We're going to have to back off pretty early. Push for 1 lap only. Tanaka's on those brand new mediums at the back of the field. Can I make hards go the distance, I wonder, and not stop again? But she won't have track position is her problem. We would go on the softs now and then come back out on... We're going to go on to the softs for both. Tanaka, we just need pace. We need her to be competitive is all.
Our race here resumes as we get back underway.
most everybody's on the softs. I see at least a couple cars on mediums.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Yeah, it looks like we can get to about lap 50. Tanaka around Dragovic. Tanakovic. Sure. New driver on the grid today. As much as I want to try to go forward, I don't think I can afford to push these for very long. But it looks like we're about to get the Alfa Romeo. Come on, come on. Yes, go up the inside. It's Maloney. And that's P13. Stand. Oh, she didn't get the overtake done. Damn. Okay, so settling in. Now just 8 seconds behind the leader. So much closer, much better position. Things have worked out pretty well for Flourish. We've had a little bit of luck, but we had an overtake and then weren't able to actually complete that overtake. Okay, no one's on hards, which means everybody's going to pit again. Hadjar and Sonoda on the mediums are going to go a bit later. They'll have an easy one-stopper. The big question is, can anybody make the soft work? I think Flourish might just be able to pull that off. Tanaka is, already lagging behind, so I have a feeling she'll be back on those mediums. There's a big gap from Maloney to Albin, so already our chances of the top 10 is fading just a bit. Tanaka with a lockup. That's not good for her race. She is still going though. But Flourish, I started harvesting so we could try to make a forward push. Half a lap later, she's overtaken. So without the battery to assist her, she can't hold her position. Now 9/10 down. Already past the DRS zone. She should have the flap open. She does, but she's getting overtaken anyway. And now she's down to 16th. Flap was open, so that was not getting beat because of DRS. And we had definitely turned off harvest quite some time before that. That was not a run. That was half a lap later, so she's just suddenly losing some pace here at 51%. Everybody around her. Well, you got a few on the 40 percentile already, so they're going to drop off. They're going to lose pace here pretty soon. We definitely have an advantage. Tanaka's at 33. Oh, the lockup. Oh, damn. I don't even think those mediums are going to make it to the end now. She's going to need something like hards, but we'll have to try the mediums. Just don't think it's going to work. I think the soft and mediums were barely going to make it, and these aren't brand new mediums. They're the mediums she already had, so that lockup is really hurting her chances. But the hards, there's no way she's going to be competitive, so we got to try. Whoa, Tanaka is way behind. I don't know what happened. Tanaka had moved up a position. I know she had the lockup, but she was all alone. 2.413 for her second stop. Both stops today are good. One average, one solidly better than average. 13 seconds behind Gasly, but I don't know. We've got Flourish, 44%. Trying to save that tire life. See if we can make the softs work. 2 sets of softs all the way to the end. Those who have already picked, mediums. So Magnussen, Gasly did not have the confidence. They go about brand new mediums. And there's that worry, right? Tanaka's already behind. 9 seconds out of the points. Right now our best hope is P11. I think our second best hope is making the softs work while others can't. A lot of people pitting a couple laps ahead of us. But that has now opened a gap in front of us as somebody peeled off into the pits, causing us to go backwards just a little bit here. We've already made it to lap 50. Okay, that's good. Go aggressive. 31%. I'm going to squeeze one more lap out of them. So Tanaka has comfortably made the softs work. Her pace the last few laps has not been fantastic, but it has not been awful either. She's lost 3 seconds in 4 laps, but previously we were losing close to a second a lap anyway, or at least half a second a lap, so it's not like she lost significantly more. 2.519. It is below average for Tanaka, making the day on the whole average. One better than average, one exactly average, and one a little slower than average. I'd say actually we were slightly better because it was 1.5 tenths better than average on the first one, where this one was right about a tenth slower. So, hair better than average, but very much an average day. Not something we see very often, so I'll take the average day. 17th place. Our softs are going to definitely be a little bit better, a little bit stronger than some of the others, and that should bring us up to temperature. Fuel should naturally get there on its own also, and we're looking at Drugovich undercut pit early, but we should be able to come back at him, and then quite a few cars on mediums, a lot of cars on softs that it's awfully early. Like, I'm gonna make it work, Ocon's gonna make it work. Others, those at like 70% already, that's not a good mark. But we're 18th and 19th, so we've lost our track position. We just ran a 1:13.3 when others around us are running a 1:11. That's almost 2 seconds slower in one lap. Now, was that our out lap? I don't think it was. We'll find out here in a second as we finish this particular lap. Okay, 1:12.3. Still not a good time. Full second faster though, but not a very competitive time toward comparatively to, right back down to a 1:13.3. So Tanaka's putting in better laps than Florsch is right now. We're lighter, so we should be better. We have batteries, so there's no issues there. And we're on new softs versus relatively used mediums, and Tanaka's putting out better laps. Florsch, inconsistency, absolutely a factor right now, but she is just not keeping up. Looks like we are going to be right here at the back of the field unless others puncture in the final couple of laps or pit in additional time. So not only did we get undercut, but we're just not putting in competitive enough lap times. Now, after a handful of laps, we're starting to settle in on a lap time similar to those around us, but no. It's like one lap. One lap is competitive, and then the next lap is a second off the pace. And then one lap's competitive, and then she's a second off the pace. This is one of the first times where we've actually seen her lap be quicker than those around her. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we're looking suddenly, 58, 32, 59. Multiple cars have crashed. Just second incident of the day.
This one involves
first
Stroll.
one, being a very
Tries to
minor
get by,
VSC
and
type
you can
situation,
see how the
ended up
cars
somehow
come together. And having
with a
seen it
safety
back,
car.
I think it's pretty obvious who was
Oh,
at fault.
red flag. Stroll still going backwards. We're coming up on him now. Is he going to dive off into the pits? Or is he finally running again at speed? He's finally running again at speed. He lost 30 seconds. Was he? Yeah, Norris. Norris gets a penalty. That was Stroll on the podium. Tanaka, 20 seconds off of Florsch. Over 60 seconds, I guess that's not terrible. Red flag, and I suppose we're actually only talking about 40 seconds. So she's losing half a second a lap to Florsch. Where Florsch, well, she's just behind everybody here. She has settled, but she's got that inconsistency part. You can see we are making our way towards those cars ahead of us now. She is absolutely closing the gap. They were totally out of sight. And yes, we ran a 1:12.3 where nobody in the next 10 cars, none of them are putting in that type of time. Where the next lap's not great at a 1:12.7, it's still pretty identical to those around us, and then gaining on Hadjar and Magnussen. We're at 63%, where others have dropped well below the mark. This is her best time to gain a little bit at the moment, but there's only that handful of laps to go. Once we drop below 60%, though, we're going to start attacking right now using the natural pace. that the tires offer us, but once we drop below 60% and that starts to go away, we'll be more aggressive. There's only a handful of laps to go. Can we come up on anyone? Can we make some forward progress? Well, beating Stroll's not going to do. We got to get Drugovich to just beat one team today. We got Sargent to beat two, and that's back up where we had been. Hadjar's at 24%. He is punctured. As we're looking at it, Hadjar has punctured, but his teammate Albin is all the way up in 9th place. Number of guys, though, 42%. I mean, we could see something happen here. But looking really good. Let's start that push. 0.0. So we don't have a lot of fuel here, but we will have a little bit with 5 laps. We could make some amount of overtake happen. Tanaka, I'm just not worried about anything. She's too far behind, even though she's just 8 seconds behind Hadjar. But inside a second, just past the detection zone, we should come flying up on him now with DRS. I wouldn't call that flying up on him. We gained 0.2 on the straight. I think that was more a matter of us pushing. As we crossed the line, it was 0.9, but just had a nibble. But we'll get an opportunity here in just a moment. Down the main straight, where the acceleration is not mattering. And that is 1 position. Well, 2. Hadjar. Right, so we're up to 16th now, but we're not featuring anywhere near the points right now. Maloney, Albin have backed up, so the points aren't terribly far out of reach. There's a maybe, just maybe type scenario, but we have overheated a little bit. We're coming up on 2 laps to go, though. Never mind the overheating. 45%. You just got to make your push. Coming up on them quickly, but it's going to be hard to overtake. Full attack. Driver. High aggression. Battle assist on. Final lap. Not for us, though. We still got a lap and a half. Oh, come on. Battery's empty already? How did you manage to do that? Gosh, we had 50%. Having a look, having a nibble. Ahead of Joe for the moment. Still side by side. Fuel is like barely positive. Drugovich is the one you want to get, but we're going to have DRS and Drugovich does not.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
But no battery. No batteries, so Drugovich, you can see how he just pulls away from us. Go! Oh, we got him. No, we didn't. What? I thought we had him. We had Drugovich. That would have put us ahead of one team for the day in P14. 0.013. 0.013. We are 15th. Well, that's disappointing. Taking 9th as a team on the day really doesn't make a difference. Aston Martin almost score a point, so yikes. Dodged a bullet there. Round 14 of 23 in the books. Yuki Tsunoda, who only got 10 points today, leads the championship from Max Verstappen, who claims the win and closes the gap. Ocon, Norris, and we remain 3 points ahead of Aston Martin. Haas do not score either. We do get the fastest pit stop of the day and the 5th quickest pit stop of the day. But we are a ways behind Red Bull in second, but not totally out of reach. Let's look at the drivers in F1. Tsunoda, Verstappen, Ocon, Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Pourchaire, Stroll, Russell, Zhou, Hadjar, just entered this year, Albin, Piastri, Maloney, Magnussen, Gasly, Drugovich. 2 of these drivers are new to F1 this year. Sargent. Just 4 drivers have changed. It's 2029. This is F1 Manager 23. 6 years. 2 of those 4 drivers just entered the grid this season after 6 years. So in 5 years, We only had 2 driver change. There is a lack of development. There's a lack of variance in the grid. After this many years, there shouldn't be more than about 10 to 12 left. I mean, just looking at the F2 grid. They're all still in the 70s. Like, how are you supposed to hire any of these guys? That's why Magnussen still has a seat. Magnussen's still better than all of them. Florish is better than nearly all of them. Florish, hey, there's something. Florish is now nearly better than almost the entire F2 grid. Skoglund, 78. She is second. She would be second right now on the F2 grid. She belongs in F1. And yet, it's still hard for her to compete with them because they're all like 88 to 90 something. I don't know what to make of it. Let me know what you think in the comments, because part of me is kind of going with, hey, no, that's okay, that's realistic, and part of me is going, well, no, hold on a second, there should only be 2 to 3 drivers at 90 plus. I suppose the gap's not as big as one would think, but you've got this 88 plus group, which is rather large, and other than Maloney and Pourchaire is entirely, I'm not sure where I'm going with it. It just feels like there's like a big A group and then there's a huge drop. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's just me. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there.